consists of 9 of them. We'll get these factory stocks on off the track and get the sprint cars out here just momentarily. You'll see some of them over in the staging area waiting to be pushed onto the track.
So here they are, ladies and gentlemen, 33 of the best IMCA 305-powered RaceSaver sprint cars represented throughout the nation are here at Texarkana tonight, here at the 67 Speedway. Here's how they're going to line up for heat race number 1, going 8 laps in distance. The top 16 and passing points will transfer to tonight's A-main event. Your pole sitter of a Liberal, Kansas, in car number 20, it'll be Steven Richardson. Outside of the front row, he rides out of Tyler, Texas tonight. The pilot of the number 82, it's Joshua Hanna.
In the second row, coming to us out of Pilot Point, Texas, driver the number 86, that'll be Jordan Roop. And lining up to his outside, out of Bartonville, Texas, in the 21B, it'll be Mr. Justin Bates.
The driver represented from Butler, Pennsylvania, the pilot of the number 42L. Alongside the wing, that'll be Lance Christie. And to his outside, he's no stranger to victory lane of these RaceSaver. He's won a lot of races at Lone Star Speedway over the years. And car number 80 from White House, Texas, that's Josh Hawkins.
In the fourth row on the inside, in the 23, coming to us out of Greenville, Texas, it'll be Mr. Junior Jenkins. And to his outside, long-time sprint car driver out of Mansville, Texas. In the 74E, it'll be Claude Estes.
Your final starter from Willis, Texas, in the 4P, that'll be Hayden Parsley. Starting shotgun on the field. These drivers will get ready to get pushed off here. Of course, no starters on sprint cars. They'll all get pushed off again, going 8 laps in distance. 33 IMCA RaceSaver 305 powered sprint cars here tonight at 67.
All right, the lights go out Joe give them the 1 to go. They'll be going green the next time out of turn number 4. The O'Reilly Auto Parts starting line. It's going to be Steven Richardson and Joshua Hanna looking for the green next time out as they come out of turn number 4. 9 cars, 8 laps the distance, passing points again, the name of the game.
Hey, are we doing passing points? Okay, thanks.
Again, correct. Passing points the name of the game. The lights are out. Green flag is out. And we are green with your IMCA Race Saver Sprint cars.
The field's going to thunder into turns 1 and 2, your first of 3 heat races here tonight. Or 4 heat races for the IMCA Race Saver 305 powered sprint cars. Working to turn number 3 on the opening trip. Richardson's going to get the whole shot. He's got the advantage off at turn number 4. And Steven Richardson will lead lap number 1 in the 20.
Richardson will show the way there. It'll be the 82 of Joshua Hanna falling in line second. The 21B of Justin Bates in the 3rd spot. Moving up to the 4th spot. Out of the 6th spot, that's Joshua Hawkins in the 80.
Yeah, keep your eyes on Josh Hawkins. He's a frequent flyer in these style of race cars. Many a wins in his racing career in the 305s. He's traveled all the way up to Eagle Raceway in Eagle, Nebraska, and raced there for the Nationals before. He's also competed in the 305 Nationals at Lone Star Speedway. Hawkins back in the saddle again here near his home track. Oh, we got one upside down in turn number 3. Hard flip upside down, caught the right rear of the cush and caught the right rear up into the concrete. He goes up and over. Still trying to see from my vantage point. Is that
driver of the 86 there, Jordan Roop,
Yep.
I believe, and the one driver upside down out of Pilot Point, Texas. Just got up in the loose stuff, lost the slip of the grip, found it on the concrete wall there. Track officials on hand. He is out of the car, folks. Looked like he's safe. Give him a round of applause there.
That was a pretty wild flip there, man. That right rear, that big meaty right rear Hoosier just grabbed into the wrong possible location, and man, it just worked like torque. That thing flipped over quickly like a top, and certainly not what Jordan was hoping there.
You know, we've been looking to see just what a good field of wing cars will do here with the new configuration, the wall being completed all the way around the track. Again, race fans, in 2 weeks, if you want some more of it, if you like the wing sprint cars here, be back with us again for the ASCS sprint cars as they'll be in action, along with the Mod Lights of Arkansas making their debut this season down here with us. Tough break there for the driver out of Pilot Point, Texas, Jordan Roop in the 86. We'll see if they can get him back into the work area and get him back out ready for a B main a little later on this evening. You certainly don't want to start off your speed weeks that way. I'm sure they'll get him back out and see if he can salvage some points tonight here for the week.
David, I'm always blown away, like when I'm watching a World of Outlaw sprint car event live on Dirt Vision, or if I'm watching the high limit sprint cars live on Flow. I'll be watching, and I watch all the crews right after a crash or something, just how quickly they can change the rod, the axles in the front or the rear end, the radius rods. They can change a whole top wing in like less than 5 minutes. It's really, really impressive what these guys are able to do on these crews. Now, on the 305 level, I'm not sure how many of these guys' crew they brought with them, how many extra wings they have. I would imagine, David, they're going to race for the next 4 or 5 days, that they're going to have, I would imagine perhaps a backup car. I'm sure they got multiple wings, but you never like to tear these things up on the first night, right? Because, man, it makes the rest of the week that much more difficult.
Yeah, I'm sure night 1 here, they're probably well supplied, but as the week goes on, it can get very expensive very quick. We hope to keep all the drivers on 4 tires all night. I know a lot of times as a fan, it's the action that you like to see, but it's awful hard on their old pocketbook for these drivers, and they got a long week ahead of them as they got 5 consecutive nights to see who comes out on top. For the kickoff, the inaugural Race Saver Speed Weeks here.
Yeah, so tomorrow night, they'll move down the road to Petty, Texas. That's just outside of Paris. If you've never been to the Rocket Raceway Park, it is a beautiful facility. Races very well. My old buddy KR, Kevin Rogers, does a great job over there promoting it. Of course, Kevin Sester, the former owner and promoter, just handed the keys over this offseason to RaceON, now Harry Fair, Chris David of the RaceON team on Rocket Raceway Park. Of course, RaceON, a huge part of throwing this Race Saver Sprint Car Speed Week together. So again, tonight here at 67, tomorrow night at Rocket on a Thursday night special. Then on Friday night, they'll be over at the Hunt County Raceway in Greenville, Texas. Hunt County Raceway put on by Josh Landers and Donnie Ship, another great racetrack you need to see. And then on Saturday night, over to RPM Speedway in Crandall, Texas. You haven't been to RPM, that's certainly one to throw on the bucket list as well. And then we wrap up this inaugural RaceOn.com inaugural Race Saver Speed Weeks on Sunday afternoon in Elmont, Texas, just outside of Waco at the beautiful, world-famous Heart of Texas Speedway.
A lot of great tracks you'll be going to this week. Should be some great racing all across the great state of Texas this weekend.
There's just so much racing that's going on, even just particularly on the RaceON platform. I mentioned that a little bit earlier. Around 70 events just in the month of May, maybe even more than that total. That was just calculating from the second week of May on through the end of May.
So 305, it's a dirt open wheel car that we run a small block Chevrolet engine in, and that was designed about 20 years ago or so to kind of help make the blue collar racers be able to go do the sprint car scene, but at an affordable level. I have a twin brother that races at the highest levels in sprint cars, and what they spend in one race is probably what I spend in 20.
We all have to run the same tires. The wings are all very similar, so it's more about getting the right setup, tune on the engine, and working with your crew chief. So it's pretty tough.
I mean, it's a grind for sure. You're out in the shop hours on hours a week. That's what gets us here. That's what gets you a win, is out in the shop.
Just been around sprint car racing my whole life, and just kind of fascinated by the speed of the cars.
Definitely pretty crazy, you know, how fast you're going in the corner.
You know, there's no other feeling like it. It's a tremendous amount of G-force. You go to set the car in the corner, it just slams left. It's super, super violent.
It's what we do. It's what we're made to do.
I wouldn't choose anything else.
All right, we've got them lined up back like they should be. 2 laps in, 8 remaining here in heat race number 1. It will be single file restarts here for your IMCA RaceSaver sprint cars. They'll all have to clear the cone on the front stretch before they can start passing one another. They're going to line back up like this. It'll be Steven Richardson who'll lead them back to the green. Joshua Hanna in the second spot. The 21B of Justin Bates in the third position. Fourth car is Josh Hawkins. Then it's Lance Christie, Junior Jenkins, and Hayden Parsley. Richardson, once again, he'll get a great jump. Working to the outside now, it's Justin Bates. Justin Bates pulling around to the outside of the 82 of Joshua Hanna. Hanna went down in the middle of the track. Bates up top. Move Bates into the second position. Driver out of Bartonville, Texas. We'll see if he's got time to run down the Liberal, Kansas driver, Steven Richardson. Working now down to the inside is Josh Hawkins trying to slide up. Not able to complete the pass on the 82. The 82 of Hanna will hold down that third spot for now. Claude Estes lurking back there in the fifth spot in the 74E. But right now it's all Richardson up front there. And all the way up on the extreme top of the track. That time by was Justin Bates. He let it all hang out in turn number 4 that time by.
Yeah, I've been watching Josh Hawkins as well here, David. He has been flirting with disaster. That number 80 car still sits comfortably in this 4th spot over 5th running Estes. But you see Hawkins right there really diving that number 80 machine off into turns 3 and 4. Hanna still up in front of him, holding on to that 3rd spot as the field executes right now off of the exit of 2 and into turn number 3. Richardson continues to be your longtime race leader, working them on in of this 10-lap affair, and the KMP painting caution flag has come out now for the first time in this heat race event. Of course, the first one was for a red flag for the flip for Roop that happened over there in 3 and 4 on lap 3 of this heat race. And I'm not...
Looks like debris over in the center of turn number 3 there. It took us a minute to find out what caused that caution flag. Looks like we got 6 laps in. It'll be 4 laps remaining here. 10-lap heat races once again for your IMCA RaceSaver sprint cars. Still leading the way, it's Steven Richardson out front. Justin Bates now settled into the second spot as he worked his way around Hannah on those last set of green flag laps. In the 21B, it'll be Hannah who'll line up in the third spot. Josh Hawkins in the fourth position. Claude Estes following him. Then it's Lance Christie, Junior Jenkins, and rounding out the field still out there will be Hayden Parsley. Lights go back down. Once again, it is single file till they clear the cone right here in front of the flag stand. Can't go below it. Can't pass before it.
It's 2025, David. We're still racing around cones on a racetrack that aren't the choose cone, man. It's a wild time to be alive. All jokes aside, the field hustles back into turn number 3. Battle back here for the 4th spot, shaping up as Josh Hawkins also took the sneak. He took a nice peek there to the inside of the 82 of Hannah. Couldn't get the job done. He'll try it again. He'll take another peek down to the inside as Hannah gets a good run right there for the middle line of the racetrack, carries the tune back into turn number 3.
Was looking to see there if Justin Bates could give a run to Richardson up front. Looks like Richardson, though, still got this heat race well under control. He's just got to keep that car under him for about a lap and a half more, and he'll pick up the heat race win. But it's Christie there still, or Bates, I'm sorry, trying to reel him in the second spot.
You know, another really good racer came out of Liberal, Kansas, if my memory serves me correct. Do you recall one Tony Bruce Jr.? He was a pretty good racer out of the Liberal, Kansas area. And this driver by the name of first name Steven, last name Richardson, is going to roll the wave of momentum right to a face full of checker flag. Steven Richardson, your winner of Race Saver Sprint Car Heat Race number 1.
Yeah, TBJ, Tony Bruce Jr. there, a 2-time winner of the Short Track Nationals up at the famous I-30 Speedway. Certainly one of the best to come out of the state of Kansas. Steven Richardson making it look easy there in Heat Race number 1. He does go from the pole to the win, so he had to do what he had to do there. Not a lot of passing points. We'll see if that's able to hold up tonight or if he has to fall back a few spots there in the starting or in the feature, but he does secure himself a good starting spot nonetheless.
So 2 K&P painting caution flags there in Heat Race number 1 halted the action there for just a couple of moments. But again, when the green flag was out, it was all the number 20 car from Liberal, Kansas. Steven Richardson picks them up, puts them down, and dominates your first 10-lap heat race of the evening. Still 3 more heat races to come here. So your pole sitter of 305 Race Saver Sprint Car Heat Race number 2 here tonight at 67 Speedway. So our pole sitter from Heat Race number 1 for Liberal, Kansas. Our pole sitter for Heat Race number 2 from Seneca, Pennsylvania. That's the pilot of car number 4J of Jacob Gamala. And outside of him from Corsicana, Texas. Folks, this guy right here is a shoe, and he'll represent the great state of Texas, and he'll represent it well. And car number 10, it's Marcus Thomas.
Tell you what, the second heat race is absolutely a yeah, I'll get it out in a minute. Yeah, star-studded heat race here, as you've got a lot of the heavy shoes here in heat race number 2. In the second row, out of Seagoville, Texas, driver of the 17, that'll be Kobe Stubbyfield. And lining up to his outside out of Crandall, Texas, driver who put on a great show here last year, driver of the number 4, that'll be Austin Mundy.
Yeah, you've truly got some of your elite racers in the 305 and drivers that have performed very well in the past in 410s and 360s, right? That are going to look really good here in this heat race representing the great state of Texas. And one of those is going to be car number 67 from Farmersville, Texas. And car number 67, that's Michael Day. And to the outside of him, he's no stranger to victory lane, one of the winningest drivers all time in sprint car racing action at the former Devil's Bowl Speedway in Mesquite, Texas, out of Fort Worth. How about it for car number 7M, the Jambo Barbecue Pit 7M for Kevin Ramey.
The driver coming to us out of Moore, Oklahoma. He'll find himself on the 4th row in the inside. It'll be the 72C of Caden Cole. And to the outside out of Rowlett, Texas, driver of the 24, it'll be Joseph Casper.
Speaking of Rowlett, Texas, it reminds me of one Travis Rylett. You know, you see some of these hometowns with different names. You think it's some of the former drivers that have raced, you know, from some of these different towns. We just talked about Tony Bruce Jr. Haven't heard that name in a little while. Also, haven't heard of Travis Rylett, but many fans remember, if you're fans of sprint cars, you remember Tweety Bird being on the old wing there. So
I tell you what, Zach, I'm going to go ahead and just throw out one of my guesstimations on the night, but I would not be surprised if our feature winner tonight doesn't come out of heat race number 2 right here. It is a stacked heat race for heat race 2.
Well, We can't say that's a hot take, but that's a pretty, you know what? That's going out on the limb because you still got 3 more heat races of some pretty hungry hounds that are ready to bark at any of these guys back door tonight. So we're going to get ready to find out who's got the baddest hot rod of the bunch, no doubt, here in heat race number 2. And later on tonight, we'll find out who's got the baddest hot rod of the entire bunch. And that's what's, ultimately, that's what we're here for and what we're excited to find out here tonight at Texarkana.
So 305, it's a dirt open wheel car that we run a small block Chevrolet engine in, and that was designed about 20 years ago or so to kind of help make the blue collar racers be able to go do the sprint car scene, but at an affordable level. I have a twin brother that races at the highest levels in sprint cars, and what they spend in one race is probably what I spend in 20.
We all have to run the same tires. The wings are all very similar, so it's more about getting the right setup, tune on the engine, and working with your crew chief, so it's pretty tough.
I mean, it's a grind for sure. You're out in the shop at hours on hours a week. That's what gets us here. That's what gets you a win, is out in the shop.
Just been around sprint car racing my whole life and just kind of fascinated by the speed of the cars.
Definitely pretty crazy, you know, how fast you're going in the corner.
You know, there's no other feeling like it. It's a tremendous amount of G-force. You go to set the car in the corner, it just slams left. It's super, super violent.
It's what we do. It's what we're made to do.
I wouldn't choose anything else.
So tonight on Zach Clark's Low Roller playlist, here are the Race Saver 305s. No, hey, that's a high limit 305 thing. Shout out Chase Rodman and all the guys that play music over there throughout their heat races on the High Roller playlist. I think that's been something that's been interesting. But yeah, just a little joke there, and it wasn't funny, but we tried. So as we get ready to go here, folks, we already gave you the lineup. Once again, that's Jacob Gamala starting on the front row to his outside. Car number 10, that's Marcus Thomas. Colby Stubblefield and Mundy. Austin Mundy going to be in row number 2. Michael Day. So it looks like Stubblefield not going to make the call. That will indeed push up Stubblefield to inside of row number 2 for the Seagoville, Texas racer. So here we go once again, race fans. Same deal as the last one, 10 laps in distance. And passing point system, the name of the game. The top 16 tonight will lock into tonight's main event. And we'll lock in the final 4 spots. The last chance qualifier here this evening.
Lights go down. They're looking for the green. This time at your O'Reilly starting line, it's going to be Gamala and Thomas looking for the loud pedal as they come out of 4. It'll be Thomas to the outside, Gamala down to the inside. Thomas, he'll get the preferred line around the top in the number 10. Mundy up to the 3rd spot in the number 4.
That outside line certainly going to carry a tune here from Marcus Thomas. He'll lead lap number 1. Oh, baby, we got a slider back there near the tail of the field. The 72 machine, slide job engaged there in 3 and 4. He'll clear him, but not by much, because he'll work him on in down the back straightaway. Mundy trying to hold off the charge here from the pilot of the 7M of Kevin Ramey. As they roll back into turns number 3, Austin Mundy now looking to apply pressure on your 2nd place runner of Gamala. They roll back into turns 1 and 2. It's all Marcus Thomas all the time up front in 10G.
Marcus Thomas last year here with the Elite 360 sprint cars. He was here in action, or Elite 410s, I guess it was. He was here in action with us. He's always been a fast car here at the 67 Speedway, and he is really stretching it out here in heat race number 2 over the number 4 of Austin, Jacob Gamala there in the 4J. Then it's Monday, and you got Ramey working to his inside, slider up across the nose.
Good.
Monday back to the inside.
Good racing here. One slider deserves another. How do you like me now, Austin Mundy says. They'll roll off the 2 down the back straightaway. Ramey likes it. He loves it. And he says, I like some more of it. They roll it back into turn number 3. Slide job inbound. Crossover move. Engaged for the 4 of Money. Good racing here as they roll back into 1 and 2. Here comes Money with another slide job of his own. How do you like me now? Good racing here for 3rd.
Race fans, this is what you paid your money to see tonight. Slide jobs, each and every corner being thrown out there. This time, though, it looks like Kevin Ramey, he'll get the advantage and he'll hold down the 3rd spot, can avoid the slider this time.
These are actual slide jobs being thrown tonight, race fans. As we roll them down the back straightaway into turn number 3. I tell you what, it's all Marcus Thomas all the time. 3 wins on the year at 3 different racetracks, I-37 Speedway, Heart of Texas, and Kennedale. He's trying to put a 4th one and 4 different wins, 4 different tracks for him this year. Marcus Thomas is dominating heat race number 1 right now, David Burleson. And that about a straightaway and a set of corners advantage equates to a 6.132 second advantage up front for driver of the 10G.
Just from our vantage point high up here in the press box, it looks like he's just got that left rear just absolutely planted into the racetrack. You almost feel like that tail tank's dragging the ground. He's just got a car digging deep in that number 10 as he's really stretched it out over the field.
I'll tell you what, 2nd is up for grabs here on the final trip. Here comes Kevin Ramey down the back straightaway. The crosshairs are dialed up. Got a little bobbled up there at the midpoint of the back straightaway. He'll skip over the berm in 3 and 4, but applies pressure, but it'll come up 1 spot short, or 2 spots short to the win, but it'll come up 3rd at the checkered for the driver of the 7M. Good run for Kevin Ramey. Started 6th and finishes in 3rd. And I tell you what, those 30 spots he picked up, he earned them, folks.
Yeah, absolutely.